Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 13 of What If Naruto Had the Unknown Sharingan. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, stay in tune because after this I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Returned Different after his training trip over on Anime King. So stay in tune for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And also, go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Was a Vampire that I posted on this channel and enjoyed it as well. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoyed the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Had Multiple People Sealed Inside of Him. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails.
So the last time we left off, Jiraiya talked to Tsunade as he told her that he has to get one of them out of the village. The both of them being seeing each other every time, it's not good, as Tsunade agreed. After a long convincing, at the hospital, Sasuke was saying that he failed against Naruto, so he was going to resign as a shinobi, until Sakura smacked the crap out of him and telling him to stop brute like some idiot, as she told him to apologize now, as he said sorry to all of them for making them risk their life to come save him just because he was acting like an idiot. Jiraiya then arrived inside as he told them that he's going on a trip outside the village, as Naruto thought that it was him, but Jiraiya then turned to Sasuke, accompanying him on his trip. Sometime later, when everyone was out of the hospital healed, Kiba was still beyond pissed as Sasuke bruted and left the village, and now he gets to be trained by one of the legendary Sanins. At the gate, Sasuke said goodbye to everyone as he headed off with Jiraiya. A couple months later, the group at Konoha everyone has been training non-stop to get stronger, as Sakura has also picked up medical ninjutsu. She didn't want to be useless again, just staying behind and make Naruto and Sasuke do all the work when they get back. Sasuke sent a message to them by the Toads as he told them Jiraiya has just been going at brothels and bars and all lot of crap and not training him. As Naruto sent back a note just laughing after Sasuke. Over the past few months, Naruto has trained with his Susanoo, as he can now use it at will, and he is getting stronger and stronger by the day, as him and Sakura and a couple others are going on a mission as they arrive in Tsunade's office to hear the mission detail. Also, a purple-eyed girl was dreaming about a blonde-haired boy with blue eyes as he was standing over her, as he was holding up a lot of debris behind him, and there was a large pipe going through his chest. As he saved her life, she then jumped out of bed. Her name was Shin, and she was having dreams of the future, or what is to come. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the page and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. Alright, said Tsunade. The mission is to be Fujikage Yuki bodyguards. What? All of them said, as Tsunade and Shizune was taken aback by their sudden outburst. As Tenten was the first one to recover from shock. You mean that Fujikage Yuki? From that show, The Adventure of Princess? One of the biggest female actors around is asking us to be her bodyguard? Tenten said. Yes, the very same, said Tsunade. Apparently her studio is going to record her new movie and they have reached out to us for you guys to protect her. But if this mission is not appealing to you, I can find another young set of shinobi which is more than willing to go, said Tsunade with a smirk. As Shizune laughed as all of them stumbled over each other, taking back every complaint that they had made. I think you're in, Lady Tsunade, said Shizune. Very well, said Tsunade. You will set out in 3 days. This contract is for several weeks, so make sure you make all of the preparations required, said Tsunade. Excuse me, Hokage-sama. I have an inquiry, said Shino. As Naruto turned and glared at Shino, I swear to God, if you ruin this for me. He threatened, but he was ignored by Shino. While I do understand that a famous celebrity requires a professional to see to her safety, it is really abnormal that 2 ninja team is being deployed on this mission, Shino said as he fixed his sunglasses in place. That is actually a good point, said Tsunade. I am sending 6 of you because the high priest of the demon country seemed to be a big fan of Yuki. So the princess wants to attend the filming as well. So she will be one of your clients as well to protect and make sure that she's safe. Meaning, said Shino. Meaning, I will separate your squad. One is to keep Yuki safe and the other one is to protect the princess of demon country. But do not worry, the teams have been selected at random, she said. Time skip, at random my ass, Naruto said, as he glared at Shino and Neji. The 2 boys and girls in their team was standing away from Yuki as the people were applying her makeup. A soft pat on Naruto's back made him turn around. Oh, don't be sour, Naruto, Lee said with a big smile. Protecting a high priest is just as noble and youthful as guarding a famous movie star. Perhaps more even so, he said. Lee, we've been over this. There is nothing you can say that can help me right now, because your words do not get me any closer to Princess Yuki. In fact, my problem is not that I'm not in Yuki's group. It's that I'm stuck with her, he said, as he pointed at the priestess. But with Sakura, she found out that Princess Yuki was not all that she was cracked up to be. In all, she was a real bitch. Whatever fantasy Sakura had about her, before meeting her, it was all shattered in a few minutes, as Yuki insulted everyone and treated them like trash, even the ninjas that were hired to protect her. But as far as Naruto was concerned, Shin was even worse. Shin was arrogant and she was demanding, and she seemed to have a grudge against Naruto, and he didn't know why. During the entire week, she has been glaring at him, insulting him, and complaining about his mere presence at her side. Her guard, Taruho, had told Naruto and Lee and Shino that she was difficult to work with. But even her guard, Taruho, was taken aback by how Shin treated Naruto and dealt with him. It was like every breath that he took angered her, and every sight of him rocked her to her core with pure anger. So she would do everything to make his life worse for this mission. For starters, she refused to use his real name. It was always you, Whiskers, Blondie, or Naruto's personal favorite, Bastard with a stupid face. She would also push off everything Naruto gave her. If he would tell her to do something, she would not do it and curse at him. And one time he accidentally touched her by her shoulder. She started to go on a full-on rampage. But yet, Naruto noticed something. Every time he left her line of sight, she would search for him, just to find him again and insult him. It seemed like she always wanted him close, but she kept on insulting him over and over. There you are, said a voice, as Shin came stomping towards Naruto and Lee. I've been looking everywhere for you guys. I'm thirsty. Go find me a soda, she ordered. Sure, as soon as I become the water daimyo, I will get right on it, said Naruto. Shin then let out a scream. You leaf ninjas are the worst attendant I ever have, she said. For the last time, we are not your servants, Naruto yelled. A small staff that was working stopped as they were looking at the 2 blondes. We were hired to make sure you don't get yourself killed. So unless the soda is to save your life, I honestly don't care, he said. As a sad look came on her face, and for a second there, Naruto thought that she was about to cry. But she stepped on his feet with all her force. What the hell, Naruto said, as she then ran off. You need to be more delicate with girls, Naruto, Lee said, as he patted Naruto on the shoulder. Lee, do you think you can take me on, said Naruto. Huh? Do you want to spar, Naruto? Lee asked. No, I need you to hold me back or stop me at any cost because I'm gonna kill her. As he then went off to find her and make sure that she did not get hurt in her recklessness. By the time Shin finally stopped, she was already breathing heavily. That jerk. That stupid jerk, she said. Usually, she never let anything bother her so much. Despite her age, she had witnessed more death than a typical shinobi. Thanks to her gift and curse, the priestess has already seen countless of people die. Her vision has shown her the deepest, darkest things of the world. And she thought there was nothing left for her to see until she met the young leaf shinobi, Naruto Uzumaki. Over the years, Shin has grown to her gift. She would see the death, well, it was most likely a curse, of a person in her close proximity, and soon enough or later, that person will die. With Naruto, it was different though. The vision of his death had come to her while she was sleeping, and it kept on coming to her. For the past 4 months, she had seen Naruto saving her and dying in the process. As she was about to write it off like it was nothing, but her plan shattered when she arrived here and saw him. It was him, in her dreams, Uzumaki Naruto himself. Knowing that there was a ticking clock winding down on him was too much for her, as she had witnessed him died over 100 times now. It doesn't help that he's a jerk, angry because he doesn't get to protect that stupid Yuki, she said, as she kicked one of the metal pipe. As the metal pipe started to shake, as Shin took a step back, as it started to sway side to side until it started to lean over to her, as the pipe came down on her, as she quickly stooped down and put her arms over her head, waiting for the worst. Is this it? She thought. That pipe that stabbed him through his chest. It's this. As she slowly opened her eyes after feeling no pain. Don't tell me. Are you alright? Said a voice. As she looked up, she was surprised. Instead of him standing over her, holding the pipe and the rubber back, she saw a dark, blue skeleton arm. Naruto was standing a few feet away, safe and sound, inside of a blue rib cage that was attached to the arm. As the skeleton arm slapped away all the rubble and then vanished. Jeez, can you go 15 minutes without getting in trouble? Are you okay? He asked, as Shin was looking at him, as she was staring in his eyes. Hey, are you okay? Said Naruto. Is something wrong? As tears came in her eyes, as she then got up and pushed him away as she ran off, leaving behind a confused Naruto. He's alive! He's alive! My vision, it was wrong, she said as she ran off. He survived. My vision didn't come through. As those thoughts were going in her head as she was running, Shin then suddenly stopped as she got another vision. Naruto was pinned down by some metal gauntlet or something. Get out of here! Run now, he said as blood came from his mouth. Suddenly, the ground started to shake as 2 long, black figures came from it. Quickly! Go, Naruto said as the 2 dark figures took the shape of dragon heads. Run! Koyoki now! As Shin screamed out something in her vision, but she did not know what she was saying, as the 2 dragons slammed down on Naruto with great force. She was then snapped out of her vision, as Shin saw Naruto running towards her, as she collapsed on the ground unconscious. Sometime later, I swear I didn't do anything to her, Naruto said to the 2 kunoichis that were glaring at him for about the 10th time. Well, you must have, said Tenten. I told you, after saving her from the rubble, she pushed me off and ran off again, and then she fainted. As Taro carried Shin back to her room to the hotel. As far as Naruto knew, she did not regain consciousness to tell them what happened. Now the Leaf team was in the boys' room, as Sakura and Tenten took turns trying to get answers from Naruto, to confess to something he never did. Did you try to scare her off with a jutsu? Sakura asked. Or did you try one of your old perverted jutsus on her? She said. Hey, I haven't used one of those in a while. Besides, she's the one that has something against me. Just ask Lee, he said, as he pointed over to Lee, who was sitting in the bed with his legs folded. Just today, she stepped on my leg because I wouldn't get her a soda. That girl is crazy, Naruto shouted. It's true, Sakura-chan. From the very first day, Shin has been very sour towards Naruto. And I don't know why, said Lee. See, said Naruto, I have been nothing but nice to the girl. Meanwhile, she has been nothing but a bitch to me from day one. In fact, I think she's faking it just to get me in trouble. Oh please, Naruto, no one is that petty, said Sakura. Is that any different from someone pretending to have heat stroke so Sasuke will escort her to the nurse's office, Naruto said, as Sakura struggled to find a retort. That has nothing to do with it, she said. Let's just forget about that, she said, as she looked around. I would have carried you to the nurse's office like a princess, Sakura, Lee said. As I was saying, that priestess has a bone to pick with me, and all through the day she was acting stranger than usual. I think it's best for one of you guys to trade assignment with me. As Tenten glared at Naruto. How can we not assume this is just a trick for you to be placed on Yuki's team? Naruto scoffed. No, it isn't, he said. Not so sure I believe you, said Sakura, as she folded her arms. Why would I come up with a plan which I get my foot crushed and get shoved on my ass, Naruto asked. From his place, leaning against the wall, Neji cleared his throat to get everyone's attention. At any case, this leaves us in a bit of a delicate situation. And I kind of agree with Naruto on this one. Unbelievable, said the two Kunoichis. I have decided, before things get more out of control, we should switch things around and put someone else in the priestess protection. The team leader declared with a commanding voice. Thank God, Naruto said, as Sakura and Tenten glared at him. As Neji then continued, let's see if Shin-sama responds better with another girl by her side. Sakura, you're going to take Naruto's place tomorrow. What? Why me? She said. Yosh, this is great, said Lee, as Sakura would be on his team. I knew that you would be a wise team leader, Neji, Lee said, as he then turned to Sakura. Don't worry, Sakura, we're going to have a lot of fun taking care of Shin-sama together, said Lee, as Naruto could only chuckle at Sakura's expression. As Naruto smiled, there was no way Yuki could be more unpleasant than Shin. The next day, halfway through his working as Yuki bodyguard, Naruto did not think that she was bad at Shin, but she was giving her a run for her money. Seeing that Yuki did not have anything against Naruto, as she looked at Naruto with disinterest, like she didn't want anything to do with them, any of them on the team. As the day progressed, Naruto watched she insult everyone, the civilians, and the filming crew. Even to her fellow actors, no one was safe from her sharp tongue. Her assistants went into tears after Yuki derided and insulted the girl for bringing her water in the wrong cup. She was nothing like Naruto pictured in his dreams, where the both of them took a bath in a giant ramen bowl. But she seemed to hate everyone, not just Naruto, so that was a big change from Shin. At that thought, he directed his gaze towards Shin across the movie set. Early that morning, she was in anger and rage and fury when she heard out that Sakura would be taking Naruto's place. Since then, every time he glanced at her, she was glaring back at him. What they say is true, huh? Never meet your idols, said Neji as he walked up to Naruto, as Yuki was performing a scene. What? Said Naruto as he looked at Neji. Oh yeah, Yuki. She shattered my dreams, but I was actually sighing about that, as he pointed at Shin, who was still glaring at him. She has been doing that for hours now, Shino said as he appeared. You seem to have left quite a strong impression on her, Naruto, he said. As all of their talking was drowned out by the director. What? Are you telling me that Daisuke won't be able to shoot today either? He said. The nervous assistant tried his best not to trip over his own words. Actually, the doctor said that Daisuke-san will not be able to film for about a month. What? The director screamed on top of his lungs. We are already far behind schedule with Hiroshi's scenes as it is. As he started to pace back in front. Sure, we can use stunt doubles for out of focus stuff and we can shoot the most of it later. But we need him to be here now with Princess Fune for the kissing scene. Why not use a stunt double for that as well? Asked the assistant. It won't work. It is a very close up scene, and there is no one that looked exactly like him. Naruto then saw the director walk towards them. You, young shinobi, you guys are able to take someone else's appearance, right? Yes, said Tenten. Perfect, said the director. Then one of you will play Hiroshi in the kiss scene. As he scanned each of them, he then grabbed Naruto by the shoulder and pulled him forward. What? Said Naruto. What? Said both Shin and Sakura at the same time after hearing what Naruto is going to do. Back at Konoha, Hanabi was sent flying through the wall. Well, it was mostly made out of paper. It was in the dojo, as Hinata had struck her with so much force. As her father, Hanabi was looking at Hinata as Hanabi slowly picked up herself. I'm sorry, Hanabi, said Hinata, as she rushed over to her sister's side. I don't know what came over me, Hinata said. Meanwhile, at the sand, Kankuro was walking inside the living room with his sandwich. Why do I suddenly feel like punching something, said Tamari, as Kankuro spun around and walked back out of the room. It was a great day, and he didn't want to deal with his sister right now, especially if she was pissed. Meanwhile, Naruto was transformed, as Yuki was coming down on him. He was lying on the ground. You have to go now, he said. They're coming. You gave everything for me. Your life, she said, as she started leaning down. But then there was a crash, as some boxes were tilted over on the set. Liquid was pouring everywhere. Cut, the director said. For God's sake, not again, said Yuki as she stood up and dropped Naruto's head on the ground that was lying on her lap. Down on the set, Naruto checked if his transformation was still on. Yes, it was, and he wasn't going to get through out for it again, because this was actually the 7th take. From problems with the film, something must go wrong, and now boxes has fall over. What the hell now, he thought. As Naruto was also pissed, every time when she was about to kiss him, something would happen and they wouldn't bother kiss. Glancing to the side, he could see Tenten, Neji and Shino looking at him. As he then turned to see Sakura and Shin glaring at him, and Lee stood a distance away from the two girls. And I promise you, said a voice, by the time I'm done with you, not even your children will be able to work here, said Yuki, as Naruto turned to see the person that let the box fell over was begging. Please, please, I'm sorry, the man said as he trembled on the ground. Come on, Yuki-san, why don't you leave the poor guy alone? You already traumatized him, said Naruto. As Naruto then placed a hand on his mouth, why the hell did he say that? As everyone went silent, as Yuki turned towards Naruto and quickly rushed over to him. Just who do you think you are? You're just some no-name kid. Just because you're a ninja, you think you can tell me what to do? As Naruto got up, in his transformed state, he was on eye level with Yuki. What's with all of you people? All of you are so arrogant. Especially you, Naruto said, as he finally had it. You were the one who lost your crap for 20 minutes just because someone corrected you. And you were the one who messed up. Why, you little piece of shit. How dare you talk that way to me, she said, as she tightened her fist to prevent her hands from shaking. Well, someone has to. All this week you've been steamrolling everyone that simply make eye contact with you. Hell, I'm starting to doubt that the actor is actually injured. He just didn't want to show up to see your face. As most of them gasp in disbelief around them, and some of them chuckle. You, said Yuki, as she didn't know what to say. So please, for the sake of your movie and my mission, and for any small amount of image left in my mind about how nice and calm you are. Calm the hell down, Naruto shouted in her face. The entire set went quiet after that, everyone waiting for Yuki to answer. As Yuki pushed past Naruto and ran through the staff. Suddenly, someone started to clap and everyone started to join in. As Naruto undid the transformation jutsu and walked back over to his teammates, as everyone was still clapping. What the hell just happened? Neji asked. I have no idea, said Naruto. A scoff escaped Tenten as she spoke. all I'm seeing is that this is the second girl that run away from you in 2 days, Naruto, she said. I guess I might have went a bit too far. I guess I have to look for her now, he said, as he went off. It took a time for him to find her, as she was deep in the woods. When he arrived, she was crying. Damn it, he said. Listen, Yuki, I know I said a lot of things, but I didn't want to upset you like this. She quickly wiped her tears away. I'm not upset because of you, idiot, she said. Well, you did run away after I confronted you. Well, if you're not upset because of me, can you come back and tell Tenten that? He said. As she chuckled, that little show that you put on back then was nothing compared to what I went through. Really? Care to share? He offered. As she chuckled, someone like you could not understand. Sure, he said, because I am just a shinobi who has went through countless of death experience. I wouldn't know anything about stress and problem. Tell you what, I will tell you some of mine first, okay? For starters, a couple of months ago, one of my teammates ran away from the village in a misguided attempt to save our team. Huh? And how does that work? She asks. Oh, did I say misguided? I meant stupid. Anyways, we were sent on a mission to drag his ass back. By the end of it, both Neji and me had holes through our chests, but we did manage to bring him back. That's quite a lot of dedication, she said, as she was at a loss for words. Well, he is my best friend. Also, about a year ago, 2 S-rank missing nin came to kill the both of us and beat us severely. Okay, said Yuki, you might know a thing or two about stress. Now your turn, said Naruto, as Yuki took in a deep breath and sighed. Have you ever have a part of yourself that you need to hide from everyone else all the time, she asked. You have no idea, said Naruto, as he chuckled a bit. A small smile appeared on her face. As Naruto looked at her, she was absolutely stunning. Well, I have something like that as well, she said, as she clutched the necklace that she was wearing. Usually, I have a hold on my composure, but lately. So, you're not usually this crazy, Naruto asked. Of course not, she said. I am a professional. As Naruto smiled, good. I would hate if my favorite actress in the world was that unpleasant. His words causing Yuki to blush. Come, let's go back. We still have a movie to film. Oh my, someone sure is in a hurry. So, you're really looking forward to the kiss scene? As Naruto gulped when he heard that. As Yuki smiled. Maybe I should give you a test run right here. After all, you've been such a good little fan. I should give you a reward. As her hand reached out for his cheek and stroked it. As Naruto stood there. What did you say your name was? Is it Naruto-chan? She said, as Naruto stood there without saying anything. What the hell are you two doing? Said an angry voice. As Yuki backed away from Naruto. As Naruto turned to see Shin glaring at him. Shin, don't run away like that, Sakura called, as she and Lee was rushing towards their location. Told you she was a handful, said Naruto, as Sakura glared at him. As Shin marched over to Naruto. So you guys staged that back there so you could come out here for some secret rendezvous? As she poked her finger in Naruto's chest all the while. What the hell are you talking about? Asked Naruto. Oh, Naruto-chan, it seems like we were found out, said Yuki, as she went around and placed her head on his shoulder and wrapped her arms around him. As Sakura and Lee's eyes widened as Yuki turned insanely red with anger. Before anyone else could say anything, there was a loud explosion. What was that? Said Lee. I don't know, said Naruto as he turned serious, but it came from the movie set. As Naruto and Sakura pulled out a kunai as they stepped in front of Shin and Yuki. What was that? Asked Shin as they saw the smoke cloud going up in the air. As Naruto activated Sharingan and looked around. Let's start making our way back to the... But he was cut off. As he snapped his head to the side to see a rather large man wrapped in bandages as he had a rock headband on his forehead with the X carved into the village signia. Damn it, there's 3 of them. I told him to set it off sooner. The man complained. Damn you, Genten, he said as he looked up in the air. Naruto looked at his teammates. You guys, take the girls and step back. I will distract him while you go around us. After a couple of seconds of hesitation, the other two Konoha ninjas nodded in approval. I don't suppose you kids want to step aside and let me take the girl, do you? You see, I'm not in the mood to take care of a couple of brats. As the man quickly pulled out 3 kunais and threw it towards them, as Naruto saw the explosive tags. Explosive tags, he called out as he grabbed Yuki and jumped out of there, as Lee grabbed onto Shin and him and Sakura jumped away as well. A second later, 3 sizable explosions went off where they were standing. Once, back on the ground, Yuki looked at Naruto as she was scared. What's going on, she said. Instead of answering her, Naruto instantly looked up to see another set of kunai flying towards him. He didn't want to leave it a chance as he looked at them. Amaterasu, he said, as they got covered in black flames and incinerated. As the rock ninja was taken aback. So you're Uzumaki, Naruto, he said, with a more jovial tone. Well, that certainly changes things, as he cracked his knuckles. Remember the plan, said Naruto, as he released Yuki. As he then dashed towards the rock ninja with kunai in both of his hands. What are you doing? Shin shouted out as Lee started to pull her away. As the bald man went through hand sign and then slammed his palm on the ground. As Naruto saw crimson color structures came on the man's bandages as the ground then exploded beneath him. As Naruto was thrown in the air, but he spun as he landed safely. But he then noticed something was wrong. The large rocks that were thrown in the air, they did not fall. Instead, they were still up there. The rocks had markings on them as well, same as the one on his bandages. Suddenly, all the rocks shot towards Naruto at high speed, but he easily dodged and weaved out of all of their way. As they continued their barrage as Naruto danced his way through all of them. But they kept on doing it over and over. When they hit the ground, they simply rise up again and came after him again. As the rock ninja went through hand sign again, Earth style, Earth shaker, he said, as he slammed his palm on the ground. As the ground started to shake, as Naruto lost his balance. As 5 more large rocks were coming towards him, Lee instantly jumped in front of Naruto and smashed them to pieces. Lee, what are you doing here? Said Naruto. I could have handled those, as he would have activated the Susanoo and blown them away. I told you to stay with the girls. Me and Sakura were worried about you. This man know who you are, so it's best for me to help you in this battle. As the rock ninja smirked, as the boulders arranged themselves around Naruto and Lee. 2 of you, huh? That make it a much more better fight, he said. My name is Ide Gerke, former ninja of the stone. Try not to disappoint me, he said, as he shot all of the rocks towards Naruto and Lee. But guys, this is where I end this episode. I hope you enjoy. And stay in tune if you want to see more episodes of this. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode, guys. And also go ahead and check out What If Naruto's a Vampire. I post a new episode of that. So go ahead and check it out and enjoy. And also, over on Anime King, I post a new episode of What If Naruto had multiple people sealed inside of him. So go ahead and check out that. And later on, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto returned different after his training trip for you guys to enjoy. And yeah guys, remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, guys. And remember to stay in tune. And without further ado, I'm over now. Peace.